Welcome to the Conversational Intelligence series by Symbl.ai, a conversational intelligence platform for developers. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to generate a transcript from a local video file using the Symbl APIs. I'm Janhavi, a solutions engineer at Symbl, and I will be demonstrating how. Before we begin, let's quickly recap what is transcription. Transcription, popularly known as speech-to-text, refers to the process of converting spoken words from audio or video into written word, that is, text. The generated transcript is super useful for things like SEO in digital marketing, adding searchability to your audio or video databases, making your video applications more accessible by adding captions and subtitles, enhancing user experience with intelligent conversation data, and many other scenarios. Symbl APIs can help generate a transcript very easily with high accuracy. Let us see how you can do that. To follow along with this tutorial, you need to have the following setup ready. First, you need to create a Symbl account by going to platform.symbl.ai. This takes no time and you don't need to enter credit card information, just your name and email. After sign up, you'll get free credits every month. Second, I'm going to use Symbl's Postman collection in this demo. You can find a link to this collection from our documentation. If you want, you can also use Symbl SDKs or curl, but I will use Postman here, so if you want to follow along exactly, you will need to fork that collection. Lastly, you of course need an MP4 video file downloaded on your machine that you want to transcribe. If you don't have a file handy, you can download and use the sample file from this URL here, and I will also be using the same. Feel free to pause the video here and take a few minutes to set all of this up properly. And you only need to do it the one time. If you're ready with all this, let us now begin the tutorial. The first step is authentication. Using the app ID and app secret associated with your Symbl account, you can generate an access token for authentication. In your Postman collection, you will find a generate token request here in the authentication folder, generate token. In the body of this request, paste the app ID and app secret from the Symbl platform. So once you have logged in, signed in to platform.symbl.ai, you'll find your app ID and app secret on the home page. So quickly copy and paste it in between these double quotes, like so, and hit send. So this will make a post request to this URL that you see up here, and what you get in the response is an access token and an expires in field. A fresh access token is valid for a maximum of 24 hours, that is 86,400 seconds. You can see the time left in the expires in field here. So my access token is about to expire. There's very little time left. So this is the response that you get for authentication requests. This access token needs to be passed in the header of all of the following requests. It's super easy on Postman because this access token is already saved as a collection variable and passed in the proper field, so you don't need to do any repetitive copy pasting, and we can move directly to making our async post video request. So step 2 is the async post video request, and this is the main part. Here you can see that in the async folder we have two async post video requests. One is just post video submit new video file and the other is post video URL. So today we'll be looking at the post video request. First, let's look at the body of the request. This is very simple. Your body contains your video file that is transmitted in binary. So make sure that you click binary here and you'll get an option to select file. And this should open your file explorer navigator. Just select the video that you want transcribed. Click open. Oops. And you see that it has gotten attached here in the body. Next, let's take a look at the headers of this request quickly. So there are a lot of auto-generated fields, but the three main important fields are the following. The first is authorization. So this contains the bearer access token that we just generated in our last step. So this has automatically been configured using this variable name, and you can see if I hover, the value is shown. You can also use the X API key, which also has the same value. This field is deprecated, but in case you need to use it, that's also there. And the third field is content type, which is video MP4. This indicates what the type of your body is. So just video MP4. Now, if you're using an English sample file on Postman like I am, you don't even need to do anything else. Everything else is preset and ready to go. It's that easy. You can just click send and you'll get the transcript. But you also get a lot of options in the query parameters to set the language, change mode, and a lot of options that you can see here. So you can set the name of your video file if you know it was a sample video, so that's what I've entered here. If you're transcribing in a different language, then the valid language code for that. We support 22 languages, so you can get the full list from our documentation. You can send in custom vocabulary or play around with the confidence threshold to increase accuracy. Same goes for mode. If you have high quality video and audio, then you use default. If you have it a little lower quality, then you can use the phone mode. And the rest of these are related to the additional insights that Symbl provides. So we get all of these options, and these will be sent as query parameters. So if you see when I click, it gets tagged here with the URL. So I'm just going to make a simple request today just to demonstrate. I'm going to hit send. I'll not change anything. And this first request will actually return two things, a conversation ID and a job ID. A conversation ID is like a locker number. It's a unique identifier that points to the locker in Symbl that has the transcript and insights that we generated for this particular video file. You need to save this number so that you can later on retrieve, modify, or delete these insights on Symbl's end. Whereas the job ID refers to the job or the task number for the processing of this file. You can use this number to check whether Symbl has finished transcribing this file and generating insights for it. So you can do that using the check request status request that we have right here. It's in the async API folders. It's the last one on Postman. So this is also a simple request. It has pretty much the same kinds of headers, and in the URL you need to pass the job ID, and I'm gonna hit send, and this returns the job ID and its status. So there are 4 statuses that you can get. Those are scheduled, in progress, and completed, or in rare cases it might be failed for some reason. So as you can see, while I was explaining everything, it's already completed. So this means that I can now go and retrieve the transcript for this file. So let's go do that. Let's go to step 4, retrieving the transcript. There are different ways that you can check the transcript. I will first show you how to get a formatted transcript in the SRT format, which is one of the most popular subtitles format. So I'm going to close these folders quickly, and you can get your results from these conversation APIs. So for the SRT format, you need to go to this post formatted transcript request. Here in the body of the request, you will see a JSON raw format. Here in content type, you can get text markdown or text SRT, which is what I want. And this create paragraph, highlight text are all markdown specific. So I'm going to remove them. And I'm going to keep these two. You need to pass the conversation ID in the URL, and apart from the base URL, the next part is conversation. So all of your insights will have something, base URL / conversation ID and / whatever you want to get. So I'm going to hit this, and yeah, there you go. So the response contains the transcript with a payload that contains the SRT format. So you have the number of the sentence, you get the /newline and the timestamp and the sentence. So this is the standard format, and you also get a content type. And that's how you can get subtitles for your video, and you can add them in and make your video more accessible to different folks. So that is one way that you can retrieve transcripts. The second way is get messages. So this is our very OG, very typical returns a JSON request. So again, you can see the URL is /conversations, conversation ID, /messages. There's nothing in the body. The headers are, the same authorization stuff that we saw before. And the parameters, we have 2 parameters. One is sentiment, which will give you sentence level sentiments, and the other is verbose. So if you click on that, you will get word level timestamps in case you need those for anything. So I'm going to just make a simple request to show you what you get and the difference in the format. So this is the request that you get. You get a messages list, an array. Each of this contains an object that has a message ID. So you can refer to, a particular sentence. Using that, you get the text, which is the actual transcribed text. if you have a speaker, that speaker information that you've provided or enabled, then it will show you from, that is who said that sentence, the start time and the end time, the timestamps for that particular sentence, the conversation ID to which this sentence belongs, and phrases will contain actionable phrases that Symbl detected. So I hadn't enabled this, so you don't see anything here right now, but that's an extra thing that Symbl does. So this is the get messages response. Finally, you can also generate a shareable transcript link using the experience UIs that you see this folder here. So these are awesome pre-built UIs that help visualize many insights generated for each conversation, and I will leave it up to you to explore those and let us know in the comments what you think of them. So those were all the different ways to get a transcript, and to recap, in this video we saw what is transcription, reasons why you want transcripts, and how to transcribe a local video file easily with Symbl. Here are some additional resources for you to go through to level up, or resources that were mentioned in this video. I hope this video was helpful to you, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to the Symbl.ai developer community on Slack, or simply tweet us at Symbl.ai with the hashtag Symbl.ai. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to learn more about transcription or conversational intelligence, subscribe and tune in to our YouTube channel.